Earth signs, hi, this is for Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, and this is your Virgo full moon reading. And you came up as the King of Cups in the reverse in the middle of your spread. So that tells me that during this full moon, you can feel a little bit of over emotional and find it hard to um, you know to get the right advice or listen to your higher self. It's like drowning in your emotions, right? There's the King of Cups in the upright usually is someone who has balanced, and they're not afraid to ask for support from others, but like you kind of keeping things to yourself here in these next 2 months, starting with this Virgo full moon. I feel like you're so overcommitted and feeling a little bit disorganized and wanting to hermit so that you can reprioritize some time and balance out your life a little better. Earth signs, a lot of overwhelmed feelings, and I think there's not wanting to be a recluse, but focusing more this desire to soul search. You know, this Virgo full moon is going to allow you to kind of remove yourself from the hustle and bustle of life. And you know, with the Two of Pentacles in the reverse, I feel like a lot of the things that you haven't been able to pay attention to, Spirit's going to show you. You know, you're being asked to pay like close attention to the signs that you're being given, like both the subtle ones and the ones that can't be missed, right? So these signs are going to help you to see how to best move forward next in order to live, you know, the life of your dreams. And the energy, you know, changes from not trusting to trusting, because in the future owl, you came up as a Queen of Wands in the upright, and that's beautiful energy, whether you're a male or female. Again, this is all energy, so just apply it to your situation. So you come up again in the future, probably more towards the new moon at the end of the month, where your natural confidence, you know, you're going to work with what you have, your natural talent, and you pull from this, and you start to ask for help. You are going to be able to deal with the things or issues at hand that are going to help you to get out of this overwhelming energy, right? So you know, you're also trusting where your intuition is leading you. So remember, you know, prayer is you talking to God, and then your intuition is God talking to you. So I'm a big advocate for really developing your intuition, because it's how we see the subtle signs. It's how the universe sends help as well, or you know, to subtle signs. It could be repeated numbers. It could be a book, a song. It could be a conversation you overhear. It could be you know, it could be a person saying specific words to you. I truly believe in angels on earth, that they are here to play a role in your life, even if it's just an Uber driver talking about a specific something that triggers you, or that like turns the light bulb on, right? So you do get your vibrancy back. I feel like, you know, 2 weeks after the full moon, you are going to, you know, pull back a little bit. You're gonna regroup the scattered energy, and whatever delays are happening in and around this full moon, that is for a bigger reason, especially for some of you that are traveling. Don't get stressed, because there's always a bigger reason to that, right? So sometimes I think you have a tendency, earth signs, to go back into victim mentality, and you know, because you've been burned so many times. But you're stepping into your worth. You're doing a lot of emotional healing and some trauma that maybe have to come up during this full moon, that you're still going through, and you end up with the Nine of Cups in the future aisle here at the end, which is beautiful, because that means everything's starting to turn turn, to move. You're enjoying your success here. And it's kind of after the full moon, after you get this little rest and start to work through your doubts and step into your worth and honor your worth. It could feel like you're not good enough sometimes, and you feel like when you're overwhelmed, it's like you have to work through those emotions, right? That's why also I'm an advocate for having a spiritual tool belt to empower yourself during these moments of adversity, because no matter what, life is going to throw these curveballs at you to get you to your next levels. It's always about the next level. So I feel like you're going to have, for some of you, a clear career plan, and maybe on the side you have a side gig, a side passion, something you do naturally that you're starting to feel like you can integrate and eventually make income out of it, right? And even though you don't see yourself quitting your job, for some of you, it's like you're starting to, after this full moon, after your hermit period, you're gonna start to carefully plan, and each step is carefully going to be thought out as you use your intuition. She or he is very intuitive with the Queen of Wands energy there, and you're going to start nurturing yourself, and you're going to start trusting that you have what it takes. You're a no-nonsense person. You have what it takes in whatever industry that you're in. You are attractive in energy and physically, emotionally, and spiritually. You're going to be able to formulate a business plan in the future to consider, and you're going to consider, of course, all the ethical implications, and you're going to determine if you could, provide a reliable service, and you will do it. It feels like you know that you're a multitasker, you're very handy with things, and these are things you're going to be reflecting in and around the full moon. And like I said, if you're burnt out, and where you are, as this picture here depicts, is you're outstretched, you're overcommitted on the weekends, you're exhausted, and you're there running around for everybody else, leaving you no time. That's not really, as the best life to live in that way, right? You're overcommitted. And no matter what you do, like, there's no happy medium, and everything could start to be breaking down. And a lot of us are going through this right now. It's a lot of, it's actually a chance, and I look at it as when things are starting to shift, it's a golden opportunity for us to step into our power, right? To really genuinely look where we're putting our effort, time, and love and energy. Are we being resourceful? Are we independent? Are we helping people, for the right reasons? Like, these things are going to, and especially people who don't really appreciate it, right? There's a balance that the universe tends to bring in when things are off balance. And you're going to be successful at what you do, because you got the Three of Cups in this deck here. So you're going to not just be successful, but you're going to kind of have community. You're going to have connection, and you're going to have these links where you're going to be enjoying what you do in the process, and meeting other people who will support your ideas, and maybe you grow together. I see two soul connections coming in for you, and it could be a time after, like maybe 3 months after this full moon, you're going to be more social. You're going to be more out there in your joy, and moving away from this anxiety and depression. So don't limit yourself is the advice here, because you got the Four of Pentacles in this specific deck. See how he's kind of like just holding on there, protecting what he's built. Change could be scary. It's like you've built the sandcastle from scratch, and you're like, when somebody ruins it, you're like, whoa, it's that feeling of things crumbling. But really, in order to evolve, you also can't be afraid to lose it all, because that's how you gain it all. It's just cycles, right? And because you do have the staying power and the resilience, right? You've been through so much pain in your past with the Three of Swords there. You know that this well-needed transformation in the past, the Death card is in reverse. That tells me there's you licking your wounds. You are more than you think, and you're never someone who just gives up like that. So again, there's going to be an opportunity that is going to start to surface, you know, some ideas, some inspired action, that creative things that are going to come through you through your connection with the divine during this full moon. That's going to kind of ask you to go within a little bit, and Spirit's going to see you through this, earth signs. Okay, you're more than you think, and and you're going to be able to cope with whatever this is to get you to your next level up. Let's pull you an advice card. I'm really enjoying these astrology cards, so let's see what comes for you. Didn't really jump, but I'll pull it. You got the 12th house. So in the 12th house, you know, this is where the energies that that come before it, but like the sun, they sink into the sea, right? So this house basically holds all the energies, all the signs. So it's where the defined shapes of day become shapeless forms of energy into the night, where the wall falls between the physical and the spiritual self. So it's like you learning to distinguish between the physical, spiritual self and other, and making it a natural home, right? Like you're starting to embody this Pisces energy, and then because it's a Virgo full moon, you're going to go deeper and kind of dissect things and put things in order. So the 12th house is a space of paradox, of endings and beginnings, which clarifies, you know, what the direction of where this reading is going. It has to do with transcendence and karma and sacrificial service. Are you, like exactly what I said in your reading, right? And it's healing. It's the journeying soul that emerges into the ethers, where it came from. So if you look at it from a perspective of a lifespan, but more figuratively, it's where you experience a loss of separateness, yearning for wholeness, right? It's, for some of you, maybe through artistic expression that you guys are going to be doing, and whatever idea or service that you can create, or a product, whatever that means to you. This 12th house holds beautiful wonders alongside the struggle to make sense of it, and it reveals where you feel lost and fall prey to illusion or addiction. And you're going to be forced to kind of look at these things, which sometimes the 9 of Cups represents addiction, right? So this is about, it's a realm of spiritual lessons and self-undoing. That's what the 12th house represents. Let's pull you one more from, let's do finance. Let's do something with finance. One more card from the new deck here. Okay, we've got financial goal setting. So I think this full moon is also going to have you look at how you set and achieve financial goals, and you're going to be defining your objectives and create a plan. And we talked about that in your reading as well, so that confirms it. And you're going to be taking more consistent action to reach these desired outcomes. So it's more, like planning, getting your ducks in a row. Also the 9 of Cups. And again, you also got the second card, two cards jump, so the work-life balance card. So that's what we talked about too, being overwhelmed, being burnt out and overcommitted. Like you're striving for balance in your career and personal life. We all have to learn this, right? So learning more boundaries and prioritizing your self-care is going to ensure you to have time for relaxation and family. And that's something we always have to work on consistently, all of us, especially when you start to thrive on your own, and you separate yourself and leave the matrix and the institutions that really no longer fulfill you, and you start to realize that just being you and living your truth and speaking your truth, requires a certain lifestyle of balance and rest on all 4 levels, emotional, physical, spiritual, mental, emotional, all of it. There's balance required there, and these things will become clearer. We'll start to learn the lessons that we need to quicker to get to next levels. Very exciting, and heavy full moon, but after it, you'll